All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something literally game-changing, a complete guide to building a full-stack website from scratch. And get this, we're doing it using absolutely nothing but a smartphone. If you're an aspiring developer in Ghana, or honestly anywhere, and you've been feeling stuck because you don't have access to an expensive laptop or a reliable desktop setup, well, this explainer is specifically for you. We're going to break down a totally revolutionary mobile-first workflow, one that takes the device you already have in your pocket and turns it into a fully functioning software development studio. There's a quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. It says, "Shale, this book is for you. You do not need a laptop. You only need your phone and an open mind." And I absolutely love that. Because whether you're a student at Legon trying to learn on borrowed data credit, a business owner over in Kumasi who needs a site for your shop, or a fresh graduate in Takoradi, this approach completely shatters the hardware barrier. You don't need a heavy textbook, you don't need a computer. You just need to be ready to learn. So here is the agenda for how we'll get there. Number 1, no laptop required. Number 2, the Ghana AI rule. Number 3, your Note app superpower. Number 4, the mobile setup. And number 5, build your first website. Starting with section 1, no laptop required, and taking a look at your new tech stack. Okay, the requirements here are beautifully simple. All you really need to get going is any working smartphone with a data connection. That's the foundation. For the actual software, you're going to use a browser-based app called Replit to write and test your code, and a service called PythonAnywhere for hosting your website once it's live. Next, you'll pair an AI assistant, like ChatGPT or Claude, to act as your personal 24/7 tutor. And finally, maybe surprisingly, you'll be relying heavily on your phone's default Note app. Seriously, this handful of free tools completely replaces a traditional desktop environment. Moving right along to section 2, the Ghana AI rule, or your patient tutor. Look, artificial intelligence is amazing, but it can actually be a massive trap for beginners if you're not careful. The worst habit you can form is treating the AI like an employee. If you just type, "write me a full Flask website," you'll learn absolutely nothing. Instead, you have to follow what's called the Ghana AI rule. It goes like this. First, tell the AI you're a beginner coding on a phone. Then ask it to explain a very specific concept in simple language. And finally, ask for a small code snippet that you can type out yourself. You want the AI to teach you, not to do the heavy lifting for you. And that naturally leads us to the absolute golden rule of this entire mobile workflow. Type every single code block yourself. Do not copy-paste, I know it's tempting, but true learning, especially when you are just starting out, happens through the physical act of typing the characters on that mobile keyboard. It forces you to read and understand every single line, and it builds essential muscle memory. It is perfectly summarized right here. If you type, you learn. If you copy, you forget. Think about it. When you just copy and paste an answer from ChatGPT, that knowledge stays trapped inside your phone. But when you manually type it out, character by character, symbol by symbol, that knowledge transfers directly into your brain. Section 3, your Note app superpower. Think of it as your brain's second copy. I know what you might be thinking. The default Note app? Really? But trust me, this is your secret weapon. It works completely offline, it doesn't drain your mobile data, and it's always right there. You're going to use it to plan out your app before you even write a line of code. When your AI tutor gives you a light bulb moment, paste that explanation into your notes. Store your successful code snippets there. Keep a quick daily journal of what you learned. And crucially, if your data runs out for the day, you can still read through your notes, trace your logic, and debug offline. It's a lifesaver. Over time, your Note app transforms into a highly structured, custom-built programming textbook, meaning you don't have to stress about memorizing everything. For your HTML, you can jot down basic tags. For your CSS, save your exact color codes, like a really crisp shade of Ghana green. For Python and Flask, keep examples of how routes work. You should even be saving the exact AI prompts that gave you the best answers. All right, section 4, the mobile coding setup. Let's snap it all together. Actually, setting up your mobile workspace takes literally seconds. It's just 4 simple steps. Step 1, open Replit in your mobile browser. That's where you'll write your HTML, CSS, and Python. Step 2, get PythonAnywhere ready in another tab for when it's hosting time. Step 3, keep a tab open with your AI tutor because you are going to be bouncing back and forth to this constantly. And step 4, open up your Notes app, specifically your designated coding notebook. Now, before we actually start building, let's make sure we understand how these code languages interact. Think of it like this. HTML is the bones. It provides the rigid structure of your site. CSS is the beauty. That's the colors, the layout, the fonts. And Python, using a framework called Flask, is the brain. It's working behind the scenes, crunching data and handling the logic. Let's ground this in reality with some familiar Ghanaian examples. The HTML bones would be the tags you use to simply list out the menu items at a Bena's chop bar. The CSS beauty is the styling you apply to arrange those menu items perfectly side by side on the phone screen. The Python brain is the code running calculations for a busy shop in Makola market. And the SQLite database? Well, that's literally just the digital version of a shopkeeper's physical ledger, keeping all the customer records safe and sound. Okay, section 5, build your first website. We're looking at the Ghana business directory. Now, we are not talking about some boring, static text page here. We're talking about building a dynamic, full-stack application right from your phone. You're going to build a homepage that features local businesses. You'll query an SQLite database to dynamically display all the registered shops. You'll set up secure user accounts so only logged-in users can fill out an add business form. You're even going to implement a search bar so users can filter by city, plus a working contact page. All of it coded entirely with your thumbs.
So how do you pull off something that complex on a tiny screen? It all comes down to trusting the daily feedback loop. First, you ask your AI to explain one small concept. Say, how do I make a search bar work? Next, you save that explanation and the code snippets directly into your Note app. Finally, you switch over to Replit and manually type the code in yourself, running it to make sure it works. You just repeat this loop, piece by piece, day by day, and suddenly, you have a real working website. And you know what the best part is? The finish line is totally mobile-friendly too. Once your site is ready, you deploy it to the internet for absolutely free using PythonAnywhere. You literally just log into their mobile site, upload your files from Replit, hit the reload button, and boom, your creation is live on the web for the entire world to interact with. At the end of the day, you aren't just memorizing code. You're learning how to build things that actually matter for your community, using the tools sitting right there in your pocket. You have the smartphone, you have the AI tutor, you have your Note app. The laptop barrier, it is officially broken. So the only question left to ask yourself right now is, what are you going to build next?